Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Phoebe Nuvisi, and here we will learn about how to upload some files to Dataverse through an agent. If you haven't seen my video yet, I have spent a lot of time, about an hour, talking about a purchase request inquiries where a user will make a quote for a purchase request, and we have the company policy, the procurement policy that we enforce, having the right code with the right elements, and then the system get the request with the right status and route it automatically to the approvers, depending on the department. So what we are going to do today, we are going to also attach the file to that purchase request as well. Previously, we were not able to do that. We will replicate the issue and then we will work it out today. Thank you, and let's get started. So this is our purchase request inquiries. I will make a new request. I will say I would like to make a purchase request inquiry. Okay, so it will ask me for the elements of that request, and that's what we are going to do. So it's loading the purchase intake skill. That is normal because here the agent says you are the purchase request agent. The first step here is to get the purchase request intake skill. That is somewhere here. Yes, I can open to you so you can see. It's just get the request type, whether it's standard, sole source, emergency, and it gets all those multiple elements and the attachment if possible, but it's not a requirement. Yes, so it's asking me what's the request header. I will say emergency. So instead of me doing one by one, following up what we have here, if I continue, it will ask me the vendor and then the department and then the site and then the business justification. It will be a step. I guess it's too long for me. What I will do, I will upload the code directly. So what it will do, it will extract all the elements for me. And yeah, it's reading using the skill, analyzing. It's giving me what's the total and it's asking me the department. Department IT. Okay, it's telling me that it needs more details. I guess just for this demo, I will copy that example. Requirement date, I would say September 1st, 2026. So now it's showing me all the items that I'm looking to get. What's the total? And it's asking me, does it look correct? I would say yes. So now the attachment, I would say yes, use that attachment. It's asking me if I have other documents to attach now. It's showing me the summary of it. Now it's moving on to the step 2. Step 2 is the validation of vendor. So it will trigger this flow. We have this flow, validate vendor master. So it will call that. And the vendor is validated, it's approved, and then it will get the requirement document. Guys, we will not pass this because we need a formal competitive code cross procurement sign off. And procurement sign off is that they want to be signed with a pen, a digital signature, and I cannot demonstrate that. So I will ask to change. Oh, and it's telling me with the policy reinforcement that this request already exists. So I would say, let's change the request type to standard, and I will change the code too. You know what? Let's change the request to standard. I want it to give me another code review, because here I have to furnish this required document and I don't have them. So now we're running the duplicate check. And based on that amount, it's still insisting that I should provide the completed code with the sign-off. Yeah, that's required. That's a policy flag. Well, I say I confirm. It's getting my details to be able to put my name as a requester. And this tells me that I even need to put a flag, because since I have this policy flag, it shouldn't allow me to even continue to the next step. So I need to add a rule here that never go to the next step before having that policy flag requirement filled. But since we are doing a demo, let's pass it for now, because the goal of this video is to upload the attachment. Let's not forget that. So it's creating the record using Dataverse MCP, the line items. So we are already at the step 9. So it's doing this step. And then the next step will be the step 4. And then it will create the approval, that is step 10. So the approval will receive the notification to approve. And then the step 11 of this is to receive the attachment. To upload the attachment, that's where we are going. Yes, create attachment record. So it will try to call this table. It will create the record, because to have attachment, you need to create the record first and then add the attachment on the attachment table. The record is created. But when it tries to upload the code PDF, as you can see, there is an error. It says this tool couldn't run because for some reasons, I have tried it many times, it doesn't just work. And it will try and retry and retry. Oh, it says file uploaded successfully. Interesting. Let me check. So let me go to the approval. That's the purchase request. Let's go to the purchase request attachments. Let me refresh it and let me get the created date. Created on. So this should be the last one. It says PDF, but it's not there. It's really not there. So let's go back to our request. So here on this step is trying to create a profile here. It's telling me I still need to provide these formal codes before the request is fully processed. This code has not been uploaded like it's wanting me to think it is. Oh, it has tried to put it in the image column, but there's nothing in the image column. So there's nothing, it's not there. So what I would do, I would say, this is what I found that I can use now to use the Microsoft Entra ID pre-authorized connector. It uses a patch invoke HTTP request, and then it will use the URL of the environment, and then the content type application octet stream, and the file name, you will get the file name, and the body will be the raw file byte decoded as Latin one string. So let's give this to the agent. I would say, first of all, I will add that HTTP connector. Is right here, this one. I will add it. I will make sure that it's the right one because we have many connectors here. Sometimes we can use API flow, for example, if you want to query some approvals. So now I will take this one that is the Dataverse API. So it takes in the link the dynamic CRM URL of this environment. So I make sure that I have that right connection. Let me try to use another connection. You see what I mean? It will not work. I will try to use this. That's for API flow. That's for Power Automate, for what I use for approvals, to get approvals, Teams approvals. So I would say use that to upload the attachment in PN file because it did not work. So what it will do, it will call it and it will fail because right now it has the wrong connection. Oh, it keeps changing. It went back to the Dynamics 365. I will do this. Let's see. Verify. It keeps coming back. Guys, it's really interesting. Even when I change the connection, it comes to the right one. Okay. So let's do it. That means it should work this time then. So it says the user wants to use the Dataverse API with the patch request, calling that. So it's sending a patch request right now. We can see all the thought of the agent is sending a patch request with the raw PDF bytes as the body. And it says, yeah, the PDF is fully text safe and it will read the patch. So let's wait, does it work? And for you to see one more time what I did, I just called the Dataverse Web API using the HTTP Microsoft Entra ID pre-authorized, and I have used this HTTPS organization ID, that's just your environment ID, .crm.dynamics.com, and then with that you sign in to get the right connection, and this is the URL that you will put. That's the content type here, and that's the body that you give to the agent, and it will do the work. So what it does, I think, is calling a Python script to load the file and get the string to pass it. It takes quite a little time to do it. Yes, it's trying to use Python to run the request, but it cannot really do that because it needs a token, and it doesn't have a token. Just to give a context, when the agents run like this, it runs in a sandbox, and that sandbox doesn't have permissions to run on Power Apps, to run any type of outbound HTTPS request, so it will always fail. Now, when you see it reasoning a loop like this, that's a good way to add a rule and say, hey, don't even try to do this. Don't try to use Python to make HTTP requests. I would say that so next time it does not even try it, because just that reasoning type that it's trying to do, it's wasting the time of the user. So I will add it as a hard rule. Never use Python to make HTTP requests directly using the request library. So next time it will not even try it. So when you test the agent like this, when it misbehaves and when it does some loop, you are able to use that and stop it so that it does not do it next time. Oh yeah, so now it failed. That's what I was talking about. It's trying to use the API flow Microsoft.com, guys. You remember I put it? So using that, this is the URL for Power Automate, so it will not work. So it says you cannot reach the database directly. So what I will do, I will go back and I will change that, to Dynamics 365. So this time it should work. Let me go back and make sure that is Dynamics 365. I will ask it to try again. So that output was expected. Try again. I have changed the connector for So this time it should work, assuming that it will use the new connection. So the thought of the agent says the user has changed the connector scope for this invoke HTTP request. Let me try again the batch request to Dataverse. So that's what it's trying to do now. It's taking a bit of time. And it succeeded at this time. You can see it has invoked this time and it has worked. File uploaded successfully and the PDF bytes are now stored in the right column and everything worked well. So let's go back to the column and check it, and it's right here. You can see the attachment right here now. So that was it for this video, and thank you. See you in the next video. Ciao.